Now we're going to work to spawn new platforms as we need them. We'll start by creating an empty object here to act as a trigger. We'll need to add the box collider 2D. We'll position this trigger at x 25 and y -3, and we'll scale it up by 3. It should look like this, about a quarter of the way along the platform. Let's rename it to left platform trigger. We'll want to do the same on the right side, so let's duplicate this one. Rename it to right platform trigger. Then reposition it x 75. It should be 3/4 of the way along the platform. So there we have the right trigger and the left trigger. We want these new triggers to spawn with our platform, so click them both and drag them into the long platform object in our scene. To override the prefab we already have, go into the prefabs folder, right click long platform and delete this one. Then go ahead and drag the new one with the triggers into the prefabs folder to save it. Next, we're going to go into the new prefab, select left platform trigger, add component, clear this out, scroll down to new script, and name it CS left platform trigger. Select create and add. Then double click it to open it up in Mono. The job of this script will be to create new platforms to the left as soon as the players walked far enough in that direction. The first class variable that we're going to create is public. It's a transform. We'll name it new platform, and this will be the prefab for the long platform that we drag onto this script. Next, we have private transform this trigger. This is the trigger that this script is on. Private transform this platform. This is the platform that that trigger is on. Private bool triggered. We'll set it to false at the start, and we'll set it to true after this trigger fires. In the start method, we'll initialize the this trigger variable by setting it to this.transform. This platform will be set to the parent of this trigger. So this trigger.parent.transform. Now let's create a new method. We'll start with a comment, spawn left platform, void on trigger enter 2D, collider 2D, name it other. We'll need to do a couple checks to make sure this gets triggered exactly when we want it to. So we'll do an if. The first thing is the triggered variable, to make sure that it's set to false, and other.transform.position.x has to be greater than this trigger.position.x. So basically that says that the player is to the right of the trigger when they walk into it. Now we can set the triggered flag to true, since this is being triggered right now, and we don't want this to be triggered multiple times. Next, collider 2D, named overlap, equals physics 2D dot overlap area, and we need to do a check using 2 points to make sure that there's not already a platform there. So we'll use new vector 2, this platform dot position dot x minus 100. This would be just to the left of where a new platform would be spawned. this platform dot position dot y minus 5 for the y position. And this would be down just a little bit. Next we need a new point. So new vector 2. This platform dot position dot x minus 50. So about halfway where our new platform would be. This platform dot position dot y plus 5. So all of this is to make sure that there's nothing to the left of the platform. So first we have to create a point to the bottom left. That's minus 100 and minus 5 in the y. And then a point that's about halfway where the platform would be at x minus 50. And then the plus 5 basically creates a box to check the whole area for a collision. If there is something there, overlap will have a value. But if there isn't, overlap will equal null, like this, which is what we want. In this case, we know it's safe to spawn a platform to the left. So we'll use instantiate, tell it what prefab we want to create an instance of, new platform, tell it where we want to spawn this, new vector 3, this platform dot position dot x minus 95. That's the x position. For the y position, this platform dot position dot y, so it's on the same level as this platform here, and z can be 0. Then we set the rotation like this. So that's the instantiation of left platforms. We can go ahead and save this script now. File, save all, and minimize mono. So that's the left platform trigger. Now let's work on the script for the right platform trigger under the long platform prefab. Add component, new script, CS right platform trigger, create and add. Double click to open up in mono, just like before. Since this is going to have pretty much the same functionality, we can open up the left platform trigger and copy all the code we created. Go back to the right platform trigger and paste in this code here. Let's make a few modifications, starting with this comment. Spawn right platform now. Let's make a modification to our overlap check. Let's make sure there's no platforms to the right of our current platform. So that would be this platform position x plus 100. And the second point would be plus 150. That's going to create a rectangle just like before, except on the right side now. And when we create the platform, we'll put it 95 to the right, so plus 95. The last thing we need to change is to make sure our player is on the left side of this trigger when they walk into it. So change that to less than. File, save all, minimize mono. Find the long platform prefab. Look for the left platform trigger within that prefab and set is trigger, and then do the same for the right platform trigger. Back on the left here, you can see that we need to drag in a platform for our public variable, so drag in long platform. Same thing for the right platform trigger, drag in the long platform as a reference. You can see that our long platform now has the left trigger and the right trigger built in. So when we play this, the player can walk into these triggers. So see this one on the right here. Boom, creates a new platform with a bunch of new resources. Same thing when you walk left. You're going to hit the left trigger and create a left platform with a bunch of resources. And that new platform is going to have these same triggers, so when you hit them, you'll see it create another platform. That's exactly what we wanted. For the next video, we can focus on the UI and show how many resources the player is collecting.